Hey guys, Brent here with Sassyak Angler TV. Today Kyle and I are going to go through and make this hatchet mask. It's a cover that snaps and covers the blade of your axe and keeps it nice and safe so that you can trudge through the woods without cutting off your finger. It definitely helps on protecting the cutting edge of your axe while you're traveling, packing, and setting up camp. So come along with us. And we're going to go through how I made this. Alright guys, this is the template that I made for the mask that is going onto this axe. This axe just happened to cut off most of my finger a couple days ago, but it's still a nice axe. Kyle found it at a garage sale. I think he paid $1 for it. We put an edge on it and it is cute little axe. So basically I built this axe by laying the axe head down on a piece of file folder that I stole from my wife, and I made a template that basically gives me all the pieces that I need all in one to make a axe mask for this little axe. So once I got my shape, I left myself a front lip that goes all the way around, and that is so that when you do fold this over there and the leather's in there, there will be a thicker gap right here, and that will help take the space of the cutting edge of the axe. So the guy that I kind of watched do this, his YouTube channel is Doug Linker. If you go and search on his YouTube channel, he explains all this really well, and this is kind of where I figured out how to do this. I may not be doing it exactly the same as him because I kind of got my own way of doing stuff, but I got the basic start of it. So I have some, I believe this is 7 ounce veggie tan leather, and I made my pattern. So after I make my pattern, you have to remember that this side here is going to be the inside of your mask, and you want the smooth side of the leather, the nice pretty side, on the outside. So I make a mental note and I flip this over so that I'm working, so I'm making my pattern on the smooth side. And now that I say that and I look at it, I'm pretty sure I did this backwards. So I'm going to start again and make it so that it's right. I'll just move this because it's not worth erasing. It doesn't really matter which direction you make this thing, because leather doesn't necessarily have a perfect grain to it. It's not like you're going to cut it and it's going to turn into your wife's sweater and go all over the place. But you do want to make it so that you're using as little as possible. Now, when I said that I wanted the finished side out, I realized that this is going to end up folding this way, and so this is going to be the front of my mask, and when I fold it over, that's going to be my nice finished side. So let's just take a pencil here, and I've made enough allowances on this thing so that we can, so once we glue this, I believe it's called a hilt, don't quote me on that, but I think this space in here is called a hilt. So we'll just take a pencil and I got my pattern. What I like to do is mark my fold line right there. That's the spot that's going to end up folding over the thick part of my axe head. And it all meets down here, so I know where that fold line's going to be. At that point, take a little scalpel knife, and it's nice and sharp, and I can start cutting this thing out. So now that I have this, I have to build up this section here that is my hilt. That's the piece that widens this so that it receives the axe blade, the cutting edge, nice, and has a little bit of room. On my pattern, I cut out the pattern without cutting it right off, and that way I can always just set this on another piece of leather, a little piece of scrap. I try and kind of use as little of this as possible, but you do need to have that whole size, so it is so that's the pattern for my hilt right there. Okay, so we got the pieces all cut out. Now I need to install the face half of the button on here so that when we put our retaining strap on, that we have the button kind of in the right spot. So with the axe head here, I just kind of rough it in, and I know that that's about where the button's gonna go. So I'm gonna just draw a mark like that. That's easy to erase right there. So I just put a little tiny ghost mark there that'll tell me about where to put my button. So at that point, take a little tiny drill bit and chuck this up. I don't want to drill a hole in my wife's good breadboard. Even though I'm saving her counter, I don't want her to get mad at me for drilling into her breadboard. So there we go. Now you got to find all the pieces. There's my outside button, and there is my outside snap. So those two pieces we'll save for later. And this is my inside clevis and my so hopefully that's big enough that it'll go through. So I put my clevis through there, nice and tight. And then I fit my button on. And this all came as kind of pieces. You have to buy this punch. I buy most of my stuff at Tandy Leather. It's a local leather supply shop. I think they're spread all over Canada anyway. I don't know about the US. I've been shopping there since I was a wee little kid. My mom was making moccasins. We'd go buy leather there, so I know the place fairly well. They've moved to different locations, but so now just take the drift, and what it's going to do is this hollow tube is going to end up making a mushroom shape. So on the inside, the tube comes through the leather like that, and you put your clevis on over top of it here, like that, and that tube comes through, and then you use this tool and it rolls these edges over to make that a nice tight fit against here. So that's what we're going for. And then we have a hammer and the tool, and the tool just goes inside there, and we make some noise. Now that's on nice and snug. It's on nice and snug onto the leather, and again you can always double check it, make sure that's kind of where you're gonna end up being. Should be a good fit for that. So I got some paint sticks. Where's my other paint stick? I had an ugly green one here. There it is. There's my other paint stick. So now we need to glue. I just use a 5-minute epoxy. This is Home Bond, Home Hardware. It's a local store out here in the country, and they usually have pretty good supplies. $8 for a lot of glue, and it's a 5-minute for metal and for leather, all kinds of stuff. It glues pretty much anything you want. Except I think I bought the wrong stuff. That's the right stuff. But it's $4.37. Okay, let's go look. Okay, well, we got the right stuff. Thanks to Home Hardware. We wanted the 5-minute epoxy that is good for wood, leather, and most plastics, metal, all kinds of stuff. It's a multi-glue. Still 5-minute epoxy. And now we can go continue on with our project. Hi, Pepsi! I got the right glue. Okay, after that fiasco, went and got the right glue. 5-minute epoxy. We showed it to you while we were coming out of the store. Awesome guy, Louis, great. We open this up, and it comes in a double tube. So we have a 2-part epoxy. So there's the base and the hardener, and they come out of this tip equal as you squeeze the plunger down. And I always just use a chunk of lid off of my wife's coffee container. She won't miss it. And I stole one of her popsicle sticks, and I'll probably get in trouble for this. For some reason these things are precious. But anyway, we'll carry on. Alright guys and gals, we're back day 2, number 2, because kind of got sidetracked yesterday. A bunch of stuff came up, but we were at the point where we glued this thing and stuck it together, and the epoxy, as you see, the epoxy is all set up and it's nice and solid. And test run, put the axe head in, and it's nice and solid in there, so it's a good fit. The strap reaches all the way around, and we need to find the point where that button can go in now and have it so that it's not stupid snug, but we can still clip it and snap it on, and that it's not going to fall off. So we'll drill a hole. If I can find my drill. I don't know where my drill went. We'll just mark it. That's about the right length. And we'll center it. And then here is the other half to that clasp that we pointed out the other day, or yesterday, when we were putting it on this side. So this is the match to that to make it clip on there. So. Just putting a piece of leather on the counter to protect my button. The button is nice and solid. Let's snap it up, see what we can do here. Wow. Ta-da! Bada boom, bada bing. Snaps on, snaps off. There we go. Alright guys, thanks for coming along. Joining us at Sassiac Angler TV. I want you to like and subscribe and hook on to that notification bell so that you can get the next episodes as we put them out. This is the axe mask that we made, and it fits great. It'll protect the axe hatchet that we have. Kyle found it at a garage sale. We sharpened it up, made in Sweden. It's pretty good steel, and it's holding an edge very well. So thanks for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one.